name is Kalob Reyes. I'm from Ballinger, Texas, a little small town out of San Angelo. I want to give Jesus Christ all the honor, all the glory, and all the praise for the forgiveness of my many, many, many sins. I grew up rough. Me and my mom was just alone with each other most of the time. I never had my dad. I didn't know who my dad was. I didn't want to know who he was. I was ignorant to my father. My mom was an addict. Growing up, it was very, very hard to try to reach out to my mother in any sort of way. Anytime I needed to reach out to her, I had to give her money. So I was lost as a child. So I didn't really have much in my life except for just myself. So I just raised myself growing up, basically. I knew who God was. I just didn't believe in who God was in my life. Growing up, I've been told about Jesus and how he has something in store for me. But I decided to live in an ignorant life, and I decided to start smoking cigarettes. Started smoking cigarettes, and it led to much, much more marijuana and much more. So I ended up leaving my mom at age 13 and decided to go on my own, and my life became more miserable. My mom became more miserable. So when we were growing up, we grew up poor. My mom lived off of a disability check for her blindness, and I just lived off of what I could get when I could get it. I didn't know too much about the world until I went on to my own standards of life. I thought that the way that I lived was the way that I needed to live, and it was because this is what God had for me. And growing up, I didn't know anything about respect, anything about gaining respect or treating people nicely or anything. I knew that life was just here, and I was just here. I didn't think that it was going to end up making me go down the route that I went to, being addicted to methamphetamines, crack cocaine, sooner and sooner getting into alcohol, and then started hanging out with the wrong crowd and smoking cocaine, almost getting to the point of wanting to shoot methamphetamines. And it was really, really hard. So I was getting lost more and more and more. I would hear voices and I would do what they would say. Life was just crazy. My life was just crazy, I thought. So whenever I would chase a dream, it would never happen for me the way I thought it was going to happen. Everything went downhill instead of going up. So I remember one day I ended up going to San Angelo and living with people that said that they loved me, but truly didn't love me the way that they said. I started getting in trouble with the police, started having warrants go out for my arrest, didn't want to pay tickets, decided to sell drugs still, killing people with the drugs that I was selling, fake drugs, real drugs, and killing myself by doing the same things I was selling. Finally, I ended up getting a hold of my mother one day while she was in a program, and I told her I had a warrant out for my arrest, and the cops were looking for me. She told me to come into this program, and I told her, okay, I will. I come into this program called Joshua 1-2 Ministries, and I didn't believe in who God was. As soon as I stepped foot in there, I completely hated everything. They listened to a radio station called Kalob, and I was in the dorm kicking off of methamphetamines and cocaine at the time, and I thought it was saying my name, the radio station. So I got up and decided to want to pack my stuff and go tell my mom I'm leaving. She said, no, it's just a radio station, so I decided to stay. When I stayed, the Sunday came around for a church service, and my pastor prayed for me, and I felt the presence of God for the first time in my life actually fall upon me. And right then and there, I knew that I couldn't leave the presence of God. And I continued to go into the program, and I backslid 4 months into my program and left. I had a warrant out for my arrest, but they said they couldn't find it whenever I was in the program. But when I left and decided to do meth again, the warrant popped up, and I ended up going to jail and did 3.5 months in the county jail in San Angelo. And I told God if he can get me out of the situation I had, that I would serve him for the rest of my life. And he got me out. So I'm just giving Jesus Christ all the honor and all the glory for the forgiveness of my sins. Amen.